Today's a new day. We had a day off yesterday, and hopefully everybody was able to enjoy some relaxation and had a productive day. And there was no baseball too, so maybe folks are a little less stressed out yesterday leading into today. So, and it's a morning, a nice morning breeze this morning. Like 3-4 days in a row now, I've had some decent weather in the morning. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I'll take it as long as I can get it. Yeah. But back to the topic here. Yeah, we need some energy from the Yanks, man. The Yankees are back home now. And we've got 3 against Houston. And then I think 3 against Minnesota. So 6 at home before they go back on the road. So we'll see how they do. Carlos Correa is back with Houston now. So I'm not sleeping on the Astros at any point in time. Good morning, good morning. Tonight's going to be Hunter Brown versus Cam Schlittler. So 2 young, very talented arms on the mound to face each other. And we'll see how they do. We'll see how they do. Hadn't heard the Yankees released JT Brubaker yesterday, so he's officially off the 40-man. They will make a corresponding 40-man roster move. Maybe it's Kenta Maeda they recently signed. They signed to a minor league deal, so that means he's not on the 40-man just yet. Good morning, chat. So maybe they'll bring him on, or maybe someone else be put on the 40-man to protect from the Rule 5 draft. But the Yankees have some guys coming back in the near future, namely Fernando Cruz, namely Ryan Yarbrough. And the 2 guys that I think are probably the most vulnerable at this point now are Johnny Loaizaga and Brent Hedrick. Those I could see are the 2 most visible targets to be DFA'd or optioned or released or whatever in exchange for these guys. You let me know what your thoughts are. And maybe, like I said the last couple of days, maybe the Yankees will make a decision on Devin Williams when these guys come back too. If they feel it's going to help the bullpen, right? Help the team morale, help the team focus, right? But we'll cross that bridge when it comes. In the meantime, it's good to see Jake Bird kind of pitching a little bit better in AAA. And hopefully Devin Williams now being put in lower leverage situations to kind of resurrect whatever he can resurrect, right, while he's here. That happened last time when he kind of fumbled. They brought him back to low leverage situations. He pitched extremely well until they brought him back up. Now, my guess is he'll be pitching for someone else at the very least next year. So maybe this year, we'll see. But I think if he's going to get released, he has to catch on with another team by September 1st in order to be eligible for postseason play. So there's that piece too. So there's still a couple of weeks. And at that point, there's still a few weeks left for Fernando Cruz and Ryan Yarbrough to come back as well. So there's some more reinforcements coming. Go on into the chat. What's up, everybody? Let me know what you guys are thinking. So I'll get to your comments in a few. Not walking that so quickly. My phone's bouncing up and down. But at this point in time right now, Yankees have to continue to tweak what they can tweak to hopefully put them back on the right track for more than one game, right? And I liked what I saw a couple of days ago Rodon kept him in the game. Bullpen locked it down. David Bednar shoved. So, you know, and I like this. He told Aaron Boone, this is my game to finish. You get back in the dugout. And Boone went back to the dugout. It's that Bulldog we need on the mound. Last time I don't remember anybody doing that to him since Garrett Cole. And I'm not really questioning anything Garrett Cole does. But now at this point, this is what the Yankees can do. There's not really, I know some folks are asking, like, how many more games do they need to win? Really don't need to know. I mean, as many as possible. But that also, we have to factor in other teams ahead of them to lose some games. Because that's the only way they're going to pick up ground. Is if the other teams lose. If the Yankees win and the teams ahead of them win, they don't pick up any ground. They stay where they're at. So, and even though, morning ladies, morning. Even though, you know, they're in a wild card playoff position now, it was looking a hell of a lot different a month ago. Felt better about their division chances. I don't know if anybody else feels that way now. I mean, there's a lot of folks keep saying that they're done, they're not making the playoffs and so on and so forth. I get the frustration, but they are not mathematically eliminated. And I'm not ruling them out until that. No, but then that's me. I can't speak for everybody else. All right? But these are the things right now, you know, that the Yankees could do to kind of put themselves in a better position here. They got to work more counts offensively, even though their stats overall, run differential and blah, 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 is the best in baseball, but that's just run differential. How many times they've had 5 pitch outs, 5 pitch innings as an offense? And I've said this recently too, especially when your pitcher, our own guy, has a long inning, why are we not working the count when that guy's sitting down? We have to give this guy some more rest. Let's work the count. Instead of swinging the first pitches all the time and then putting him right back on the mound. This is one reason why we're having pitch count issues, right? Where some of our starters are in the 5th inning already at 100 pitches. It's not good. Okay? We need them at under 100 pitches through 6 innings. That's a much better representation of good quality starting pitching. And we have the guys that have the potential to do it, but aren't doing it. I mean, Cam Schlittler, I gave him a little bit of I gave him some more than a little bit. I gave him leeway because he's still barely a rookie. He's giving us what we get from him, right? And he's keeping us in the games, which is good. Which is one reason why having Ryan Yarbrough back and Fernando Cruz back is going to be so helpful. Make it easier to withstand if Cam doesn't get through 5, right? But we need Warren if he's going to stay in rotation. We need Fried and we need Rodon. Get through hopefully 6. We have enough in the bullpen beyond that. But when we don't get length, what are they going to do? They're going to work the bullpen harder than it needs to work. And that's just the nature of the game. That's baseball. The blame game doesn't change that. Right? So, I don't see the point in the blame game. It's a waste of time and energy. Blame game doesn't make me sleep better at night. No. I don't know about anybody else, but it sure as hell doesn't do that for me. But back to it, we get the Astros here. What do the Yankees need to do to neutralize the Astros? Obviously, if we get 2 out of 3, that would be fantastic. Then if we could do the same to the Twins, that would be fantastic. We can go for at least 4-2 in the next 6 games while we're at home. That would be fantastic before we go on the road. But there are some series that, now the Yankees should well, theoretically, but I don't really, if you look at the schedule, they should win a hell of a lot more games than they lose, right? But should isn't always will or do. So should is just should. Should is a matter of opinion based on the stats we're looking at, right? So, or whatever we're looking at. So, but Yankees actually have to do that. On paper, it's not the same thing as on the field. And which is why I'll listen to points of view from folks, like I said yesterday. But I'm not holding anything people say is gospel, like all due respect to Derek Jeter. I understand what he's saying. A-Rod, all due respect to him, I understand what he's saying. But not he's one of these guys played the game the way it's kind of being implemented today. It's different. And yeah, baseball, A-Rod's a good baseball mind. He's a student of sport, no doubt about it. One of the greatest right-handed hitting sluggers in history. But there's also a reason why he's not being hired as a coach anywhere, right? There's that part too. If he says something that people like on Fox Sports or whatever, and people run with the next couple days on Twitter and social media and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then when the next talking point comes, they run with that. All right. Right here, I'm going to try to neutralize Correa, Altuve. I'm going to try to get to Hunter Brown today. It's a young, very young pitcher. Try to get to him. Try to deploy some of our more aggressive base runners. Jose Caballero, he's leading the American League in stolen bases, right? Let's at the very least get him in the game as a free and pinch runner. Or get him in the game at some point on the field so he can have a shot. But at the very least, yeah, his speed is better than his bat. So at the very least, I would deploy him as a pinch runner, right? So if he steals second, a base hit scores him. Instead of having a guy stays at first, and then base hit moves him to second or third, and then the rest of the guys don't do anything. Nah, I'd rather take advantage of these little opportunities to get a run wherever we can. Right? Small ball. Smart ball. I'm hoping that the Yankees capitalize on that. I really do. And Houston Astros, they play the Yankees hard. Right? They treat it like it's the damn playoffs. So did the Boston Red Sox. Good morning again. And those are the two teams that are probably going to give us fits. Because we got to face them, I think, we got to face both teams twice for the rest of the season. One at home, one away. And Red Sox are all of a sudden one of the hotter teams in the game. Right? So, nothing to sniff at. And they play the Yankees hard. We know this. So, Yankees need to take these series very seriously. And hopefully we'll see some not only good energy, but good decision making as well. We need it to be a complement. We need these things to work together, don't we? To complement each other. We need Boone to manage well. We need him to manage strategically, but we need our pitchers, especially our starters, to put Boone in a position to manage more strategically, right? It's hard to be strategic as a manager when the guys you need to give you length aren't giving you length. So, like I said, it's a collective effort. This cannot fall on just one person. As much as folks want it to be. As much as other folks and content creators and channels make it sound like. No. But it's just my take this morning. And Yankees have We need to see more from the Yankees team. There's no doubt about that. There's no denying that. We need to see better play from this team. Do they have the talent? Yes, they have personnel, but like I said, talent on paper is not the same as execution on the field. It's not the same. And car. And it's again, these series Yankees need to win, man. They want to get to the damn playoffs, and they want to have some momentum going into the playoffs. They have to win these series. It's not impossible. It's very doable. We need to deploy our weapons effectively, right? And just the way that it is. And, you know, Ahmed Rosario and Jose Caballero, these guys are utility types. They play multiple positions. So when people say they're really playing out of position, are they really? They're utility players. They play all over the field. So I'm fine with that. Like I said, I'm fine giving some folks a day off. I think it might be good to sit Jazz for a day or two. I don't think his head is there right now. I don't like his body language. So I wouldn't hesitate to sit him, maybe to light a fire under his butt. And we need these guys to kind of step up for each other, man. Have each other's back. Visibly do it. Right? Bednar the other day. I don't know about you guys, but I saw exactly what I needed to see from Bednar. 5 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3. He shoved. He's, and that body language said it. Yeah, starting pitchers, I got your back. I'll hold this thing down for you. Yeah, fielders, don't worry about this. I'm gonna strike out everybody. It's exactly what he did. Struck out every guy. Every guy that made it out was a strikeout. That is the temperament of a closer. To me, I think he stamped himself as the guy. They're gonna have to rip him off the field to get him off there. So just need to, if he continues to perform like that, the Yankees might have found their new closer. Which is sometimes, again, you gotta, unfortunately, traipse through the mud to find the gold, right? And it looks like the Yankees have been traipsing through a hell of a lot of mud recently. And on occasion finding diamonds in the rough. And he found something good here with David Bednar. And I think his bullpen, which has been dreadful for the past 6 weeks or so, they're going to find a new moment, a new identity, essentially. Especially once these guys come back, they'll be at full strength. Cruz, Yarbrough, once they get Bird back, they'll be at full strength. But hopefully the Yankees have utilized them effectively and have a balance between all of them so that they're not using Tim Hill 5 days in a row. They're not using someone else 5 days in a row. Have a balance of these guys. We have the personnel, we have the depth. Let's use it. All right? I'm not putting a 135-pound man in a cage against a 200-pound man. So everything's got to be relative to the situation, right? What's the point of having Tim Hill in there 5 days in a row? Before they had to, for necessity, he's one of the more reliable arms. I get it. Now they don't have to do that. So please don't do that. And please, bats, work the count, especially if one of our starters has a long inning. Please, that's the least you can do for him. It's not like speaking. I'm not even speaking as a former baseball player, but as a fan who wants the Yankees to play well. Just like everybody else in here, they want the Yankees to play well, and they're frustrated when they don't. I get it. As am I. These are little things that the Yankees can utilize right now and employ right now that will make them better. right? And again, they're going to need to run into some luck. They're going to need to run into some, well, not run into, they're going to have to create some really good play. You don't run into good play. You create yourselves. Luck is what we run into. But again, good play will create more opportunities for luck. So let's play good. Let's play hard. Let's play smart. Right? All right. All right. Good morning, y'all. Beagle, Jake. Joanne, good morning. Get DFA. Who are you talking about, Joanne, in terms of DFA? Sorry, I think I might have missed that. Well, yeah, Boone's, he still, I mean, he doesn't know what he has yet either with Bednar and Duvall and Bird and Caballero and Rosario. He knows what he has now with Ryan McMahon. He's been the best third baseman of all the guys. Eugenio Suarez, Brian, 3 of them right now since the trade deadline. All 3 of them are traded. Right? And it's not even close. So maybe we got the best of the 3. So Eugenio Suarez can get the occasional 600-foot home run. Go right ahead. Knock yourself out. But he's batting like 120 since the deadline, since it's been moved. So McMahon's been batting like 290. With stellar defense. I'll take that. Now they have to figure out how to utilize these other weapons. Jonathan, what's happening, man? Nathan, there he is. How come every Yankees player is better on the Brewers? Who, Joanne? Who's the Pat Murphy? Who's Pat Murphy, Joanne? Well, I would agree. I would use Devin Williams in low leverage right now until... Well, I would just use him in low leverage. Try to regain his footing and get a good inning out of him. I'd rather get a good 6th inning out of him than a terrible 9th. No. Here's some facts for you, Joanne. With his fastball and his off-speed pitches, Bednar struck out 5 guys in 1 2/3 innings. Every guy that got out was out in a strikeout. That's the most important fact, right? Not his choice of pitches. And we don't know if they tried to trade Williams, but that's in the past now, so nothing we can do about that now. Morning.
Good morning. That's what Mom said.
Yarbrough, I don't know how many home runs he's given up here, but he gives the Yankees reliable innings in relief, which we don't have right now. They got rid of JT Brubaker, which is one of the few guys that gave the Yankees a couple innings. So we need those guys. Yeah, maybe David Williams doesn't want to be here. His body language kind of suggests that. But at this point right now, they're either going to release him or use him in low leverage situations, which gives him an opportunity to kind of get back to right. Maybe put him in a position to get some kind of contract that's signed by somebody in the offseason. Right? And Aaron Boone likes to give guys a chance to kind of right the ship on the field. I get that too. So I just hope that he doesn't put them in late innings right now. Well, if Williams gets DFA'd, he has 2 choices. He can accept this assignment or choose free agency. If he gets released, he's done. He's a free agent. So, at least DFA, you have another option. But I don't even know if he would accept this assignment. I think he would probably just accept, become a free agent and try to sign with another team before September 1st. That way he's eligible for the postseason. All right. Yeah, DFA means designated for assignment. The designated, it's almost the same thing as optioning. They DFA you, you choose your assignment, wherever it is in the minors. If you reject your assignment, then you become an unrestricted free agent. Release is just immediate. You're immediately gone, like they did it with JT Brubaker, Marcus Stroman, DJ LeMahieu. But they DFA'd DJ LeMahieu, and then they released him after that. Well, yeah, I'm saying the same thing too, Andrew. Our starters need to give length. That way we're not having to overuse bullpen. But that's why this is where I hope they utilize from Ryan Yarbrough or Fernando Cruz. Come on, these freaking bugs. Hope they utilize Fernando Cruz and Ryan Yarbrough on long relief, where to me that would be most effective and most helpful in this team, right? And give the starters a little bit more protection. That way, if they don't give length, then we have that buffer in between them and the short reliever guys. That way we're not, again, using guys constantly, wearing out guys, which is what happened with Jake Bird. The Rockies overused him. Look at his stats. And he had about 40 innings pitched last year. He was in the mid-50s already through July. He was projected to go about 80 or 90 innings. That's double what he did the year before. Double. So, and that's right now. They're working on him. He had a good inning the other day, which is good. And he'll rebuild his confidence, and he'll figure out a way to deploy him effectively. I have a feeling he'll probably be a 6th or 7th inning guy. Anyway, if they bring back Luke Weaver after this year, those guys will probably be 6th, 7th inning guys. And then Duvall will be the 8th and Bednar will be the 9th. I swear. That's what I'm looking at, but maybe they have a different plan. If he gets DFA'd, he probably will choose free agency, which is why. But Captain's been he's been aggressive with releasing players for over the last, I guess, 2 months. So he may just release them, for all we know. I don't know. We don't know what they would do, Joanne, yet. We don't know. If Yuri De Los Santos is pitching better than Devin Williams, then maybe they will. Maybe they will keep him. There's nothing they can do now. They can't trade Devin Williams now. Johnny Loizaga might be. They might move on from Loizaga. He's on the IL right now, but they might move on from him. At least Yuri's given them somewhat productive innings. And he's healthy. A couple of weeks, Jonathan, we're hearing for Yarbrough and Cruz. So we need to have at least a month of September to show the Yankees what they can do. That way they know how to deploy these guys for the rest of the way. Yeah, Peraza went out with class, and I responded to him. I said, I wish him well. We're gonna miss him, and and I wouldn't expect anything less. He's always been a classy dude, Oswald Peraza. Well, that's part of it, Jake. His breaking ball, he's got a lot of movement on his pitches. So, and the situations that he came in with the Yankees, with the exception of one, were not good situations either. So, and they have to figure out how to utilize this guy. But overuse is definitely effective, man. If you look at his numbers, he's been used a hell of a lot more. He's got good stuff, but he clearly looked a little gassed and looked kind of spent in the head. So I do think that's a factor. But yeah, it does take, you're right about that. It takes breaking pitches a little bit longer to break in sea level than they do in altitude. And they have to figure that out. But especially also when you bring in somebody, they have to approach the game differently. For those that he came in the minor leagues, when you play a doubleheader, the ghost runner is in 8th inning, not the 10th. It's different in the minors. And he came in yesterday and drew a weak rounder, and then the bases wound up being loaded. He struck a guy on the end, and he got a double play. And they got out of the inning. And Jake Bird had a clean inning. So that was a good boost to the confidence right there. But still, I would watch out how he's utilized over the next several weeks while he's down there. Because I don't think it's going to be as aggressively as the Rockies used him. This is the same thing that happened with Mark Leiter Jr. when the Yankees got him. Right? He was overused by the Cubs. He was tired. He had a rough month here. Then he kind of regained his footing when the Yankees gave him a breather. And he was really good last year in the postseason. He carried their asses in the bullpen in the postseason last year. So I would watch out how he's utilized. Bird. Something I would keep an eye on. Well, but he's not performing, he's not going to get like a Mason Miller type. That's not going to happen. He hasn't performed as well. He doesn't have the track record of a Devin Williams before this year. Williams had 3 consecutive years of sub-2 ERAs. There was no closer in baseball that had that. Nobody. So, thankfully, Weaver doesn't have that track record, but he's not going to be cheap, yeah. But if I'm the Yankees, I'm probably going to try to bring him back because he knows how to perform here. He's got ice in his veins, and the Yankee fans love him. And the Yankees love him. Kenneth, good morning, man. God bless, brother. Yeah, Williams, he looks uncomfortable being here, and I get it, too. And he's not getting any breathing room from the fans either, so I get it. Yep. Well, supposed to do is one thing, Jake. Again, when your pitches aren't operating, one of the things that has to be factored in is the usage. Right? Well, usage changes release point, whether it's sea level or altitude. And if your release point is inconsistent, that's something that needs to be worked on. And again, they have to figure out a way to deploy him here. He's going to be deployed differently in the Yankees as he was in the Rockies. All this stuff has to be factored in. That's why these guys need an adjustment period. The guy that adopted it most rapidly, most aggressively is Bednar. And Duvall's been better too, but Bednar, he's a beast. He's a bulldog. Right? We'll see, Yerry Dos Santos. He might stay. Right? He might stay. Again, if he's pitching better, I'm very at this point in the season, it's more than likely they're going to go with the guy that's pitching better. Like Marcus Stroman, a few weeks ago, he was the only starter that was keeping him in the games. And then he started pitching poorly, and then the Yankees released him. It's kind of the same thing happened with Devin Williams. Pitching well for a while, and then he started floundering again. So, and the Yankees added 3 relievers, and they get 2 more coming back. So, don't be surprised if they release him. I can't predict it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Right? Kershaw versus Scherzer tonight. Yeah. 2 first ballot Hall of Famers facing each other today. Doesn't happen all the time. Ken, good morning, my man. What do you know? I'm about to wrap this thing up too. I get inside and get kids ready for camp. And you know how that goes, Ken. They love to make me late. Because last minute they find out. I can find this. I can find that. You had an hour to find it. Now you're gonna look for it now? Okay. My little princesses. Yeah, Weaver's here on the cheap. He's not going to be as cheap next year. He's a free agent, so. But if the Yankees can get it back on a couple-year deal, I could definitely see them doing that. Especially since he plays well here, right? And they know that. But, he hasn't pitched well enough to justify $15 million a year or anything like that. I don't worry about Duvall as much as I worry about Devin Williams. Do I feel confident? I don't have a problem with Boone, Kenneth. Right? He needs time to deploy all these 7 new guys. That's almost 25% of the roster is different now. I know the talking point for so many people is Boone, right? And people just running with the fire Boone, fire catch, the same bullcrap every day, right? But these players have to do their jobs. They're paid a lot of money to do their jobs. There's only so much Aaron Boone can do, especially when we don't know where his limitations are in terms of what he's able to do in the field and in the dugout. We don't know. We're relying on speculation from other people who don't play the game, who don't work for the Yankees. Jack Harry doesn't know as much as Boone or as Cashman when it comes to the Yankees. He doesn't know. He's a beat writer. He doesn't work for the Yankees. All due respect to the beat writers. That's why I don't rely on talking points and narratives. Yeah. 7 2/3, 1 run, 10 Ks, last 5 appearances, Hedrick. Yeah. Now, the question is, will he be vulnerable when Yarbrough comes back? Don't know yet. I mean, maybe they keep him and maybe they move on from Devin Williams and Johnny Loaizaga. If Hedrick is, and again, if Hedrick's pitching better than some of these other guys, they might keep him around, right? To have another lefty in there so that they're not having to use Tim Hill all the time. Yeah. Well, the reinforcements are, well, for the most part are here, but reinforcements are important too. They were valuable to the team. We need them to come back. But yeah, I do think Loaizaga would be probably the first to go. I agree with that, Jonathan. So we'll see what happens in the very near future. There's going to be some roster moves that happen, right? And it might be one today. Somebody gets put on the 40 now that they've released JT Brubaker. So I don't know who it's going to be. Is it going to be Kenta Maeda? Or is it going to be one of the young guys to protect them from the Rule 5 draft? Because you have to be put on the 40 in order to be protected from the Rule 5 draft. No. Well, yeah, that's a part of Boone, why Boone's getting heat. And that's the starting pitcher's job to go give them length, not Boone's job. But yeah, there's no question he's getting heat. We know that. He gets heat. He's been getting heat since he's been here. Yeah, well, exactly. If the starting pitching doesn't give them what they need, then they have to overuse the bullpen. We need more from Fried recently. We need more from Rodon recently. More innings. We do. Yeah. Both great movies, Major League, and I love them. I love Major League. It's probably my favorite baseball movie, but I love Natural too. Graham, I'm also surprised about Brubaker. That must mean that Cruz is not too far, or they might bring up Kenta Maeda to give him some innings. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know yet what's going to happen. It's going to be the end of the season, Robert, to protect guys from Rule 5. Oh, Rudy's another great movie. Rudy, Hoosiers. I mean, so many good sports movies. Miracle. We Are Marshall. Well, exactly. Exactly, Graham. If you need the pen to give up that much innings, almost as much as the starters, that's a problem. That's a problem on the starters. That's why, eventually, and I'm confident that Cam Schlittler will be better, right? But this is why I would be using these Cruz and Yarbrough in long relief when they come back. Because it will serve as a buffer and make it a little bit easier for Boone to not have to overuse the bullpen when starters don't go long. But don't give us the length. Yeah, it's just fantastic movies. I love sports movies. I mean, sports movies and horror movies, that's my jam right there. All day, baby. They need to make a sports horror movie, right? They need to have Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees go terrorize a baseball team. Could you imagine that? Come on, man. Get an Oscar win for that. An Oscar nomination. Let's go. Yeah. Depth is important. When these guys, remember, they're athletes. Athletes get hurt when they get overused. when they extend themselves too much and they're not ready to. Again, injuries happen in sports, right? So, but that's what I got for you, gang. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me this morning. Have a great day. We'll be back later with the lineup and everything else. So, and any news that comes out, you're going to get it here, baby. Peace and love to all of you. This is the best family out there. Over and out.